130 inches of snow is about to bury the Sierra Nevada mountains over the next 2 weeks. That's 9 to 10 feet, folks. And we're measuring snowfall in feet, not inches out west right now. A 78-year-old grandmother in Amite, Louisiana, huddled under 3 blankets for 72 hours last month when the power went out. She told rescuers she didn't know if she'd make it, and another dangerous pattern is setting up right now. Southern Texas could hit 90 degrees by Thursday, while Minneapolis sits at 28. That's a 60-degree temperature swing across the country, and we could be shattering records all week long. And here's the kicker. The Storm Prediction Center just upgraded tomorrow to a slight risk. That's a level 2 out of 5, and this is the kind of setup that keeps meteorologists up at night. All right, folks, think of this pattern like a weather roller coaster. One day you're in the 70s thinking spring is here. The next day you're shoveling snow. And that's exactly what we're dealing with through the end of February. We've got major ups and downs coming, warm surges followed by cold blasts, and multiple storm systems are lined up to cross the country back to back. For the West, we're looking way colder and way snowier than we've seen during this historically warm winter, and that's going to have serious consequences for travel and mountain communities. Now let me walk you through the setup, because we've got a low-pressure trough moving from west to east across the southern tier, and it's packing enough punch to cause problems from Texas to Florida. The system doesn't look like much on the map. It's small and compact, but don't let that fool you. These are the ones that can surprise you. And here's what really matters. Dew points are surging into the upper 50s and low 60s, and that's plenty of moisture to fuel some serious storms this weekend. By Saturday morning, that moisture line pushes all the way up into Oklahoma, setting up not only severe weather but also heavy rain and flash flooding potential. The storm fuel is building up fast. We've got enough instability in the atmosphere to produce some really strong storms. And that's got my full attention right now. Now let me show you the severe weather timeline. Because tonight we've got a marginal risk from west central Texas up into Oklahoma and southern Kansas. Then tomorrow, Valentine's Day itself, we've got that upgraded slight risk. Level 2 out of 5 stretching from southeast Texas through Louisiana into southwestern Mississippi. This includes Houston, Beaumont, Tyler, all the way to Baton Rouge and Lafayette. And I'm going to make a bold call here. I think we see some strong storms with large hail and damaging winds, if we get any tornadoes. They'll likely be brief spin-ups, but even brief tornadoes are dangerous, especially when they hit at night while people are sleeping. Now remember that 78-year-old grandmother in Amite I mentioned at the start. She lives about 40 miles from Baton Rouge, right in the heart of tomorrow's slight risk zone. I actually spoke with her neighbor yesterday, and she said Miss Betty has already stocked up on batteries and flashlights because she's not going through that nightmare again. That's why I'm being so direct about this. We've already lost over 110 people from winter storms this season, and overnight severe weather is the most dangerous kind. Now the marginal risk on Sunday shifts east into Mississippi, south central Alabama, Mobile, Montgomery, and down into the Florida Panhandle. This includes Panama City, Tallahassee, Gainesville, Jacksonville, all the way down to Orlando and Tampa Bay. So Florida folks need to stay weather aware on Sunday. The main story with this system is going to be the rain and the warmth, because that warm air is jet fuel for these storms. And we've got plenty of it. We're looking at 2 to 4 inches of rain across Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, Arkansas, and Louisiana, with some spots possibly getting over 5 inches. All right. Let me give you the city-by-city breakdown, starting with the areas facing severe weather, because that's where the danger is this weekend. Houston at 64 degrees with 1 to 2 inches of rain and thunderstorms. You're right in that slight risk zone, so make sure those phone alerts are cranked up. Dallas at 59 degrees with 1 to 3 inches of rain and flood warnings in effect. Avoid those low-lying roads and have backup Valentine's plans ready just in case. Fort Worth at 58 degrees, San Antonio at 62 degrees, Austin at 62 degrees, all looking at 1 to 2 inches of rain with heavy storms possible Saturday evening. Now I want to hear from you. Drop your city in the comments and let me know where you're watching from. Your real-time reports help everyone in the community stay safe. Oklahoma City at 52 degrees with mixed precipitation. You're right on that transition line where rain could change to snow. And that makes travel really tricky. Little Rock at 61 degrees with over an inch of rain. Tulsa at 50 degrees with possible snow mixing in. The rain-snow line cuts right through Oklahoma with this one. And folks, I've been getting messages all day from people across Texas and Louisiana asking about this storm. I hear you. And that's exactly why I'm being so thorough. New Orleans at 62 degrees with 1 to 2 inches of rain. Feels like that classic Gulf weather out there. Warm and muggy with storms possible. Baton Rouge at 63 degrees with 1 to 2 inches in storm potential. And remember, that's where Miss Betty lives, right in the bullseye of this system. Now let's shift to Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida, because this is where severe weather pushes through on Sunday, and I want you prepared. Jackson at 60 degrees with heavy rain. Montgomery at 52 degrees. Mobile at 60 degrees. Birmingham at 57 degrees. The Gulf Coast moisture is fueling these storms. Atlanta at 57 degrees with rain showers. Keep an eye on conditions Sunday afternoon. Things could get active as the system pushes through. Jacksonville at 70 degrees, Tampa at 72 degrees, Orlando at 82 degrees. Florida stays warm, but those afternoon storms could pop up quickly Sunday. And here's a pro tip for the theme park folks. If you're at Disney or Universal Sunday evening, those rumbles you hear might not be fireworks. Could be thunder rolling through. Tallahassee at 68 degrees with storms possible. This is the Big Bend region where severe weather tends to intensify as it comes off the Gulf. Now let's shift to the winter weather side, because while the South deals with storms, the North is dealing with some serious snow. And I mean serious. New York City at 39 degrees with 6 to 12 inches of heavy snow from the I-95 corridor storm. Snow could fall at 1 to 2 inches per hour at the peak. Philadelphia at 42 degrees with 8 to 14 inches of wet, heavy snow. This is the kind that takes down tree branches and power lines. Charge your devices now. Boston at 37 degrees with 6 to 12 inches in a classic nor'easter setup. Wind chills could drop to 15 below after the storm passes through. Washington, D.C. at 46 degrees with 7 to 13 inches. Baltimore at 43 degrees with 8 to 14 inches. The entire I-95 corridor is going to be a mess this weekend. Newark at 38 degrees with 7 to 12 inches. If you've got travel plans through the Northeast airports, check your flights early and often. Now for the Carolinas. You're caught in that tricky zone where a few degrees makes all the difference between rain, ice, and snow. Charlotte at 45 degrees with 8 to 14 inches possible. This is significant winter weather for the Piedmont. Outdoor Valentine's plans are definitely getting canceled. Raleigh at 48 degrees with 6 to 10 inches. Greensboro at 46 degrees with a potential 10 to 16 inches. Durham at 47 degrees with 7 to 12 inches. Winston-Salem at 45 degrees with 8 to 13 inches. Richmond at 46 degrees with 8 to 14 inches. The Piedmont and Virginia are going to be buried. Norfolk at 48 degrees with 6 to 10 inches. You're right on that rain-snow line where the forecast can change quickly. Stay tuned. Now let's talk about the Midwest, because you're dealing with serious cold and snow while folks just a few hundred miles south are breaking out the shorts. Chicago at 33 degrees with 8 to 12 inches of snow and wind chills dropping to 10 below. This is stay-inside weather if you can manage it. Milwaukee at 30 degrees with 10 to 15 inches. This could be record territory for mid-February snowfall. The lake effect machine is absolutely cranking. Minneapolis at 28 degrees with 12 to 18 inches of heavy snow. This is dangerous cold and travel is going to be nearly impossible through the weekend. And here's the wild contrast. Minneapolis at 28 while Miami sits at 80 degrees. That's a 52-degree difference. Only in America, folks. Detroit at 32 degrees with 8 to 12 inches of lake effect. Indianapolis at 34 degrees with 7 to 11 inches. The Great Lakes region is getting absolutely buried. Cleveland at 34 degrees with 6 to 10 inches. Columbus at 35 degrees with 6 to 10 inches. Buffalo at 32 degrees with 8 to 14 inches. Classic lake effect setup. Pittsburgh at 36 degrees with 6 to 10 inches. Cincinnati at 38 degrees with 5 to 8 inches. Kansas City at 40 degrees with 5 to 8 inches on that transition line. Madison at 29 degrees with 9 to 13 inches. The winter storm watch is already up for Wisconsin with more snow and freezing rain expected midweek. Now let's cover the West Coast because this is where that 130 inches of Sierra snow comes in. And if you're a skier, you're going to love this forecast. The Sierra Nevada mountains are about to get absolutely hammered. 130 inches over the next couple weeks. That's 9 to 10 feet of fresh powder, folks. Lake Tahoe is looking at over 10 feet total with winds gusting to 80 miles per hour. Mountain roads will be closed and avalanche risk is extreme. The Cascades, Rockies, and all the major ranges are seeing feet of snow, not inches. This is a historic event for the Western Mountains. Sacramento at 59 degrees with 1.5 to 2.5 inches of rain from the atmospheric river. Valley flooding is possible while the mountains get buried above. San Francisco at 58 degrees with 1 to 2 inches. Los Angeles at 68 degrees with half an inch to an inch. Typical February weather for the coast. Denver at 42 degrees with 4 to 8 inches of mountain snow. Colorado Springs at 40 degrees with 5 to 9 inches. Ski resorts are absolutely loving this pattern. Salt Lake City at 38 degrees with 4 to 7 inches. Portland at 46 degrees with 2 to 3 inches of rain. Seattle at 48 degrees. The whole Northwest is active. Phoenix at 65 degrees, staying dry. Las Vegas at 58 degrees with sunshine. The desert Southwest is the place to be if you want nice weather this weekend. Now let me give you the long-range outlook because this is where February pulls the rug out from under all of us, and you need to pay attention. Between Monday, February 16th and the following Monday, we're looking at record warmth with highs near 60 in northern Illinois and southern Wisconsin. That's 20 to 25 degrees above normal. By Thursday, February 19th, southern Texas could hit 90 degrees, maybe even low 90s, and Wednesday morning lows could be in the 50s for Chicago and 60 for Memphis. But here's the thing. This is a false spring. Do not fall for it. I repeat, do not fall for it. Winter is absolutely not done with us yet. The coldest Arctic air is bottled up in western Canada, and it's going to make its way south around the 24th and 25th. So enjoy the warmth while it lasts. And here's my prediction. We're going to get another widespread, impactful winter storm before February is over. Mark my words and hold me to it. February is famous for rug pulls, and whether it's a nor'easter, an apps runner, or a clipper, something significant is coming before the month ends. All right, let me give you the 5 key takeaways. These are the things you absolutely need to keep on your radar this weekend. First, Valentine's Day, severe weather with a slight risk. Level 2 out of 5 from southeast Texas through Louisiana. Damaging winds, hail, and isolated tornadoes possible. Second, 130 inches of Sierra snow over the next 2 weeks. That's 9 to 10 feet, with 80 miles per hour winds at Lake Tahoe and extreme avalanche danger. Third, major snow for the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic with 6 to 16 inches possible. Travel disruptions likely along the entire I-95 corridor. Fourth, record warmth coming next week with potential 90 degrees in Texas and 60s as far north as Chicago. This is a false spring, so don't be fooled. Fifth, this roller coaster pattern continues through February with Arctic air returning around the 24th. Winter is not done yet, not by a long shot. Now here's what I need you to do. If you've got elderly parents or neighbors in the severe weather or snow zones, pick up the phone and check on them today. Remember Miss Betty in Louisiana. She's 78 years old and she's already preparing. That's exactly what everyone in these zones should be doing right now. We've lost over 110 people from winter storms this season, and a 2-minute phone call right now could save you a lot of worry this weekend. For anyone with Valentine's Day travel plans, today is your best window. Tomorrow gets stormy in the south, and Sunday the system pushes into Florida. Now here's what I'm watching most closely. That overnight severe weather window tomorrow night across the deep south has me genuinely concerned. When storms roll through at 2:34 in the morning while people are sleeping, that's when we see the worst outcomes. Keep those alerts on all night. The midnight models will tell us more about Sunday's severe threat. I'll have that update out first thing tomorrow morning with the latest data. Drop your city in the comments. Let me know what you want covered deeper tomorrow. Stay safe out there, folks, and I'll see you then.